Good morning, retail traders. It is Saturday, August the 26th, 2023. I want to go over a strategy that I talked about live on YouTube. So please subscribe and ring that bell. This is going to be a pre-recording, and I'm going to kind of shuffle through it. But right now, my trading strategy is called the Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where I study chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. So Friday I was kind of giving a little lesson on my new strategy that I've been building on, and I've added two. And I've been trading the Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, and I just added the Ready Set Go to it, which is an indicator that tells me I could be able to take the trade, spot the trade early with a sense of maybe wanting to take the trade, and then with the chart confirmations I get the results. So we're going to go ahead and go right to that video right now. Please subscribe and ring that bell. I'm live until I don't want to be anymore, but I'm just sharing the way I like to trade, my strategies, and I've helped a lot of people, and it's just a good strategy to start with. So we're going to go ahead and go right into it. This is the early bird broadcast, Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, live with Washboardjim, and this was the closing of the day. And there is a delay on YouTube, so you can always subscribe to the room if you like. It's down there in the content. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. This is the Ready, Set, Go strategy that I use. I mean, I got many charts. I got I got a lot of different technical strategies that I use. This is just one of more than 100 maybe. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I got a good background in technical analysis, but I am far from any kind of fundamental trader. I rely mostly on my charts and my wisdom. You see, right now it's kind of says go here, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, it did say go. We had a big bounce on it. That's on the day. Now it's telling you it's finished. So you had your ready, set, go, go. And right at 1 o'clock, right here, told you to buy the trade. Right there. So ready, set, go. You got your ready, which was right around 12:50, which was right here at the very bottom of the trade. Now, if you read charts, and you know how to read charts, here's your snake. So right when it said ready at 12:50, 12:50 was right here. It was getting ready to cross the 21. The 9 was getting ready to cross the 21 SMA, the 9 EMA. So by the time it said set at 12:51, 1 minute later, we busted out of the 21. Right when it said go at 12:55, you were right here on that candle right there. I told you to get into the trade right there. Then you run it all the way up to however you want to go with it. So right at 2:33, it told you to leave the trade. So right at 2:33, you were right here at the peak. At the very top of the trade. That's when it told you to exactly finish this and get out of it. At the very top. That's how accurate this thing is. So if you know how to read charts and you're listening to what I'm saying on these knives, snake, breakout, pull back, boom, and you can make a ton of money. $1,000 a contract right there. It's so simple. It tells you when to get in. It tells you when to get out. It tells you where resistance is. It tells you where support is. And if you can read chart patterns and read the snake, boom. And when it says finish, do you feel like getting a put? After such a huge run? You know why that's a good put? Because this is a bear flag in the close. So you've seen the snake, you saw the breakout, you caught the pullback, boom.
DKS. Aeon.
Double bottom,
ROP.
double bottom, boom.
KRTX.
So it breaks out of the snake. You're watching, that's all you got to look for. Huh? Jim, I see a snake. Well, let me look at it. Has it broke out of the channel yet?
CEH.
No? Well, you got all time. You got 10, 15 minutes to take this trade, so don't worry about it. Let's look at it.
SBAC.
Oh, it's broke out. Some bitch. What? Yeah, it broke out and it kept a higher low.
SDA.
This is going to be good. We got a higher low. We're going to be good. Don't worry about it. Let's not take it yet. It's not telling us to take it yet. Jim, it pulled back to a double bottom. Uh-oh. What did you say? It pulled back to a double bottom.
SDA. SDA.
It did. We're going to get in this one. So there's our pattern. Snake, breakout, pull back to a double bottom. Boom.
MIGI. FSLR. ICLR.
Tanks on me. Right here and just follow the trend.
UFS.
That fast forward.
IZM.
So that's wedge. Snake. I called out banks Friday.
IPT. MDGL. MEDP. MDP.
This is the end of the day.
GME.
So you got a snake and you got to
K.
look for the pattern.
BLT. Doma.
Snake, wedge to the 200. Bank of America. So you're sitting here. It's boring, man. I'm bored. I ain't took a trade. I'm bored. I gotta get in a trade. I'm bored. And I jump in a trade without a pattern. Then it tanks on me. But I got a snake and a wedge. When she breaks out of the wedge, come over here to the ready, set, go. And right at approximately 10:05, it said go. So approximately right at 10:05, so I'm sitting here. Okay, let's do this here again. I'm sitting here watching this snake come out. I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden I see a ready. Right at 9:01. So now I've been alerted.
The market's been open
Come
a
on
half
here
hour.
at 9:01.
The market's been open 1/2 hour right here, and I've been spotted to take a ready. So I drew out the snake, and I see that we're about ready to break out of the channel. This is the channel right here. So once you break out of that channel, that's when you got to really start to pay attention to the trade. You don't get into it. You wait for it to create a pattern.
Right there. I'm outside of the snake. Right there. We just busted out of the snake. So now I'm ready. But I'm not set. Because there's no pattern. I need a pattern. We broke out, but we ain't got the pattern yet. Pattern ain't there yet. So about the time it said go, it was right at 9:14. So right at 9:14, I'm sitting right here. Personally, I don't know if I would have took that trade. So it said finish, because there's no pattern. All it did was break out and pull back. So it says finish. Right at 8:25. At 9:17 it says finish. So at 9:17 it was done. I mean, I could have probably took that real fast, but once it said finish, I get out of the trade. So now it's telling me to get ready again. Right at 9:58. So at 9:58, we're sitting right here.
So at 9:58, we've already established a pattern. We've established a snake and a wedge. So now I'm getting real interested in this trade.
So I'm getting ready again. Now we've got a wedge. Now I got my pattern. So I'm ready. I've got a good pattern, clear pattern. I've got me a snake with a downward wedge, which is very bullish. It's telling me I'm ready. So right at 10:07, oh, here we go. I'm looking at the wrong chart. What the heck? Hope I've been looking at the right thing.
Yeah. So, shut up, Jim. 10:07. The 9 crosses the 21, the 50, and the 51. And have a big old breakout. And then it pulls back. I get in the trade, and I run it all the way up to the 200 because I've got my pattern, I've got the breakout, I've got the pullback. All I need now is the boom. And I exit the trade. Because I hit the 200, I hit my pattern, I hit my moving average. So this is a strategy I talk about also that's added to the snake is I use a moving average as a resistance level. Now this is on the 1 minute time frame. So when we break out of the snake, I take my trade and I run it all the way up to the 200, and that 200 is a double top. So I get out of the trade with 2 resistance levels, the 200 SMA and also the double top. And then I'm back in here with a new snake with a 1, 2, 3. That's part of the strategy too. So it pulls back again, right at 11:03. Which is right here. So at 11:03, I'm drawing up a new snake. So I draw the new snake out. I'm the only one that calls this snake out of all the traders ever. Let's make that clear. So right at 11:03, I get alerted to get ready. We broke out of the snake. So now we've took the snake and we broke out, so it's got my attention. There it is right there. 11:03. Now it's telling me to get set at 11:12. So I come over here and I got my pattern. I got a triple bottom. I've got another wedge working here. Or I've got an expansion pattern. So let's do that. So now I've got my pattern. So now I'm in the steps of 1, 2, 3. Right at 11:13, which is right here. Yeah, 11:13. It tells me to go. So at 11:13, it tells me to go, and it breaks out, and I'm in the trade. I got in the trade because it said go. They called a double bottom. So it breaks out and creates a resistance and pulls back and holds support. So now you've got your 1, 2, 3. That means it's your last chance, right? 1, 2, 3 means your last chance. Boom. What I mean by last chance is when you're in a triangle or you're in some kind of pattern, the thing will start to create a pattern. So on that third dip, that is the most important number in that pattern, and that's when you got to go ahead and execute the trade. Because if you come back down the fourth time, you might go ahead and have another knife. So the third dip is always the best chance for the breakout. Not the first, not the second, but the third. If it pulls back to third, that's called a triple bottom out of the snake. And most triangles you look at, that on the third dip, that's when they mostly break out. The odds of them breaking out. Now, the longer it keeps going back to support and creates more dips, the weaker the stock gets. And you might go ahead and have a knife because the undecisiveness. The only thing holding this up is higher lows. But that's what I'm trying to say here. Third time, if it doesn't break out of this here third time up, 1, 2, 3, then you more or less want to go ahead and get out of the trade. Because when it comes back down, you could have a big knife. That's the odds. The odds are a lot higher on the fourth dip. To a double top exit idea. And then you exit at the double top. So that's trade number 2. Trade number 2. Now we've got another snake. This one tells me to get ready. Right at 12:50. So let's draw the snake in. These are 2 heads. It's a 3-headed snake. But I want to get most of the congestion where it kind of looks like halfway decent channel. So right at 12:51, I'm getting alerted to get ready. So I'm ready. We got a double bottom here, and we break out of the snake. As we break out of the snake, we have a 1, 2, 3 triple top break. So I'm taking it off the 200 SMA when it pulls back and hits that trend line. Breaks out, pulls back, boom. That's trade number 3. 3 snakes in a row. This thing's been spot on. That's how easy it is to trade off that strategy. So this weekend, all the beginners that are new to this and really want to make money and make it real simple, I want you to study these chart patterns. If you really want to come in and make yourself 100% better than what you are today, I want you to take every second you have, forget about your family, forget about church. Well, say, honey, I got to take a couple hours of my time today. I'll be down in the boys' room, in the man's cave. I let you go out with the women on Wednesday night. Let me find my pattern here. I'm having a misunderstanding. I know I didn't erase it. I gotta come in here and clean all this up. Half this stuff don't need to be in here. I can't believe it's so hard to find the patterns. Fudge. I didn't erase them.
Come on, Jim, hurry.
There we go. So I want you to study these strategies. It's like, for example, we got the snake here. We got an inverse head and shoulders. We got a snake coming down and it breaks out and it creates a bull flag. We got a snake that comes out, runs up and creates an ascending triangle. We got a snake that comes down and creates a head and shoulders, and you know to get out of the trade. We got a bearish flag, so you're coming down here with a snake and all of a sudden it just pops up like that. That's bearish. This one here can be questionable. If you come down through here and we get a descending triangle and it bounces off the third bottom and breaks out, you're gold. If it comes down the fourth time, that's why I'm saying 1, 2, 3 break. If it doesn't do it the third time, get out of the trade, because it's going to take the fourth time down. The falling wedge, 1, 2, 3, boom. You've got the symmetrical triangle, 1, 2, 3, boom. You got the double bottom out of the snake. These are out of a snake. You got the snake coming down into a symmetrical flag. 1, 2, 3, third touch. If it doesn't break out, get out of the trade. Snake, double bottom. If it doesn't do its thing, break out of this here thing, come back and hope for a third one. And if the third one doesn't make it, get out of the trade. If you got a rising wedge, you're coming out of a snake and you go 1, 2, 3 and it fails, get out of the trade. 1, 2, 3 and it breaks out, stay in the trade. It has to do it on number 3. You got a symmetrical triangle coming out of a snake, 1, 2, 3, and it doesn't break out to the top side, get out of the trade. You got a snake that comes up and hits a double top straight out of a snake, get out of the trade. Them patterns right there will make you a millionaire. So that's it. I think what I got to say is, if you want to get real good, you've got to tell yourself, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to practice. I had a coach. I always hit base hits. I was skinny. I couldn't hit the home runs. And he said, Jim, let me tell you something. You got a bat. You got a bat. And on this bat, there's a sweet spot. And if you can hit that sweet spot on that bat, no matter how hard you swing at it, you can hit a home run. So you got to hit it, and you got to aim, and you got to be precise right when you want to connect with that ball. The sweet spot is a little bit lower than the eye of the bat. It's right about in here. So when you're coming down on the snake, you got to look for that sweet spot. And that sweet spot, when it breaks out of the snake, that's when you got to get ready. And then you take your time, patience, and let it build its little triangle, little pattern. And you got this knife, confirmation, knife, consolidation, and confirmation. And then that, you hit that sweet spot, boom, you got a home run. So I'm going to get out of here. So that's the sneaky snake trading strategy using the ready, set, go. And I just started using that strategy. Here lately I added it to the snake itself. You know, you just simply draw out your snake, just like right here. Every knife. And this is, I'm going to give you the best lesson of your life. At least one strategy that will always work for you. Just draw that snake out, that knife, that sell off. Wait for it to break out of the pattern. Don't take the trade yet. Wait for it to break out of that trend. Once it breaks out of that trend, it's going to create a pattern. So we had a big breakout, pull back. Now this pullback on this one right here created what you call an inverse head and shoulders. And I showed it to you on that chart. Just take your trend line. Let me go ahead and do something right over here real fast. Take your trend line, run it from the left shoulder, and it pulled back and created and hit the right shoulder. So you've got your snake, your breakout, your pullback, and that's your head and shoulders. That's when you know to go ahead and take, it's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. then you know go ahead and take the trade and run it up and hit the 200 or wherever you want to take it to. But that's the idea. Anytime you see a knife, I mean, people get stuck in a lot of trades. Say you were in this trade and you wanted to add on is a swing, and all of a sudden we had a big knife the next day, and you're still bullish on the trade. Just give it time. See, after it broke out of the snake, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, almost 20 minutes to decide if you wanted to take that trade or not and scalp it to the upside. So that's the sneaky snake trading strategy. I'm sorry this was a little bit long, but I think it's a good seminar to kind of explain these knives a little bit better. Once you see a knife, you got to wait for that pattern. And that pattern is on that sheet that I gave you. Right here. You can copy and paste that and just type in bullish, bearish chart patterns on Google, and you can look at all kinds of maps to be able to take you to study these here patterns. But once you learn the pattern and you learn where they break out, 1, 2, 3, just constantly count 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3. I mean, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom. You know, just keep that number 3 in mind, and that'll give you enough time to say, okay, if it doesn't break out this time, then I'm done with it. Y'all have a great day. Sneaky snake trading strategy.